Outside of those two big camps, we have a lot of other things that diabetes is going to cause that are going to impair wound healing. Our obesity and type 2 diabetes are going to predispose the human person to more pro-inflammatory cytokines that are released from the adipocytes. And with that, we're also going to have a biased macrophage polarization towards the M1 pro-inflammatory macrophage. I didn't include that photo again. But if you can remember back to that photo, that is, so remember our macrophages can become M1 or M2. M1 is pro-inflammatory, M2 is anti-inflammatory. Initially with an injury, we want the M1, but when the M1 sticks around too long or the response is too strong, it becomes an issue. So if in the body things tend to go towards the M1 macrophage, because that's not just, that polarization does not just happen with tissue healing, it happens with a lot of other things in the body, then we can start to see a chronic pro-inflammatory state. Outside of those two big camps, we have a lot of other things that diabetes is going to cause that are going to impair wound healing. Obviously, a lot of this research is done on cutaneous wounds, right? Diabetic non-healing ulcers. Some people will say, well, we don't know if that extends to the connective tissue, skin's connective tissue, should say to tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and things like that. But come on, let's not be silly, right? If something is happening like that on the skin, you bet that it's happening deep below the skin as well. We just can't see it and visualize it the way we can a non-healing foot ulcer, okay? So hyperglycemia is going to lead to increased reactive oxygen species and advanced glycation end products. The most famous advanced glycation end product we know of is HbA1c, right? The hemoglobin molecule gets glycated, and we measure that for looking at if a patient has diabetes, okay? That's not the only thing that gets glycated. Collagen gets glycated, and that's one of the reasons why we see those changes in tendon histology of the collagen fibers in diabetic versus non-diabetic patients. It's in part due to this glycation that's happening. We have keratinocyte dysfunction and fibroblast dysfunction. Obviously, the keratinocyte is going to be more dermal related versus tendon ligament healing. We have increased matrix metalloproteinases. Remember, when the matrix metalloproteinases go up in ratios or proportions that we don't want and it's not in balance, we get increased destruction of the extracellular matrix. We get increased destruction of collagen, wear and tear on the joint that is not related to weight. This is related to diabetes.